final. And if there's any action, you're going to see it all with us. We'll be back to you as soon as we can be. That's the pleasing sight in match 5 of the Bajaj Pulsar Tri-Nations T20 Series. Strength partner Shivam Cement. After an intriguing first half of the first innings of this match 5, I would say the heavens opened, but they didn't quite. We just had a very light, faint drizzle across the ground, and the umpires, Sanjay Gurung and Devendra Subedi, decided that it was too heavy to play in, so we've ended up losing some overs. We are now down to a 13-over-a-side match, and as you can see on your screens there in front of you, that means the Netherlands will have just 16 more deliveries to try and enhance their total. For Malaysia, 3 bowlers will be allowed to bowl 3 overs and 2 to bowl 2. Same for the Netherlands in the second innings when they bowl, but with Pawandeep Singh already having bowled 4 straight through, his allocation's being used up, so is Wafiq's. So we'll have to see a 5th and maybe even a 6th bowler from Malaysia in these final couple of overs. So 16 deliveries left. Andrew Leonard here in Kathmandu. Not as glorious a day as we've had throughout the last few days. I've got Sharad Visakar joining me in the commentary box again. About an hour's delay to play there.
Yeah, but very happy to see the match coming back on. Yeah, there's now, I guess, like Netherlands team are going to go really hard this last 2 and 2.5 overs. Would be interesting to see what target they set up. 16 balls to go. Yeah, Malaysia would like to restrict them as low as possible.
Yeah, but you must remember Netherlands will get a boost from Duckworth-Lewis-Stern as well. But could well favour Malaysia. Malaysia will know exactly what they'll need to do with all 10 wickets in hand. 16 deliveries remain in this first innings. And Ben Cooper's going to start by smashing that one straight down the ground. It thuds into the side screen. That's a Shivam strengthened 6 to get this little passage of play going.
Yeah, Cooper seemed to be warming nicely with those. What a straight hit that was. Just a half follow through of the bat and went past the side screen.
Where was that before the break for the Netherlands? They really struggled. Got to come around the wicket now. Powered into the leg side. It'll just be a single.
Rahman cramping Cooper there for room, bowling to his pads just for a run.
Yeah, this abridged match today certainly going to perhaps put Malaysia right in the mix. Remember, if Malaysia can't win today, tomorrow will be a dead rubber. Peter Seelar and Ben Cooper trying their best to give the Netherlands some late momentum. That's a Pulsar Power 4, so strong down the ground. A really good shot from Peter Seelar.
Yeah, both of them actually like hitting very firm shots down the ground. Yeah, slightly flighted, hanging on the back foot. Seelar hitting it straight down the ground for 4 runs.
Oh. Off the outside edge, so nearly bowls him. It's going to be back-to-back Pulsar powered 4s. If slip was in place, that would have been out, but that's going to close out the 11th over. Netherlands 83 for 3. So 2 overs remain in this now rain-shortened 5th match of the Bajaj Pulsar Tri-Nations T20 Series strength partner Shivam Cement. Because it's 13 overs aside. We're going to see the 12th over of the match bowled by Pawandeep Singh. Bowled around the wicket to Cooper, who, as he so often does, smashes it down the ground. And you think long on and long off might have learnt he loves hitting it straight. It dissects the 2 of them. That's a Pulsar Power 4.
Yeah, he's going to enjoy this. The spinner's back on. And it's not going to be easy for the spinners to grip the ball with all the rain around. Yeah, the ball rolling off the surface, and the wet grass would make it more tougher for the bowlers, for sure.
And a dart this time off the inside edge. Just going to be a single, will bring Sealer back on to strike. Netherlands likely to get probably a 20 to 25 run boost from Duckworth Lewis-Stern, so Malaysia perhaps looking at maybe needing something like 125, maybe 135 or so, depending upon these last 8 deliveries. But for the Netherlands, right now, everything must go, Sharad.
Absolutely, they have those wickets in hand too. Big hitters coming in down the order, so they have that license to go hard.
That's just going to help them as that one plugs into the pad. Very round arm delivery from Virendeep Singh. 9 deliveries remain. Hold him. That one just kept a little bit low. Peter Sealer, who's been struggling a bit with the lower back problem, has absolutely swung out of his sockets, and it's ended up cannoning into leg stump. That's the 4th wicket to fall today.
Yeah, Virendeep bowling that with wide of the crease with an angle. Yeah, darted that in towards the leg stump. I've seen the replay. Yeah, short of length ball, skidded through. Was a bit low. Yeah, tried to pull it, but got bowled out. Yeah, Sealer gone for 37 runs of 31 balls. Netherlands 88 for 4.
Tony Staal in at number 6 for the Netherlands. Known as a power hitter, but it's difficult to hit immediately from the off, and we're going to have a Wow Energy third umpire referral as Sanjay Gurung decides it's best to send that up to the third umpire, Vinay Jha. Didn't look immediately like he lifted his foot to me. First thought, Sharad?
Yeah, looks safe, the batsman here. Yeah, that one would be interesting to see.
Going to be difficult to see from this angle because the Malaysian captain, Ahmed Faiz, I suspect, unless he maybe nips to his right a bit, is going to be in the way.
We have to go for another angle, surely.
Good work from Shafiq Sharif, though. Looked to me, certainly, even with the Malaysian captain blocking the view we had, obscuring the view, that Tony Staal's foot didn't really go anywhere. So I suspect that one's going to remain not out. The Wow Energy third umpire decision. We've had 5 games in 5 days. This is the first one to be disrupted by rain in this fantastic T20 series. Let's see if we can take another look. Obviously, no problems with the no ball there, Sharad.
Yeah, clean delivery there. No problems with the front foot. Yeah.
Just while we have this little break, Sharad, tell us a bit about the context of this series, cricket returning for all 3 of these countries for the first time after a long break.
It's been brilliant. I think all the teams were raring to go play some international games, and there you can still not get a clear view of that. Yeah, like it's been amazing to see this past 5 days, some good cricket being played. The first 2-3 days there was good crowd as well. So yes, some international associate cricket has started. Hopefully the COVID remains a threat till now, but hopefully it gets better.
Going to take a look at the front on angle here, and I think for my money, perhaps Tony Staal just getting his foot back down in time. You can see it was briefly outside the crease. Really good quick work from Shafiq Sharif. So through to the keeper, he whips the bails off as quick as a flash. Foot is currently in the air, but for me it's just back down there. So I think Tony Staal should just survive, but not a shot he's going to want to see again.
Benefit of the doubt has to go to the batsman in this one. Let's see what the decision is.
Yeah, so the correct decision we got there eventually is not out. Wow Energy drink. Third umpire referral. So 7 balls left. Netherlands need to get some runs going. No Timing again, just angling into the right-hander. Going to run hard and try to get Ben Cooper back on strike, but they can't. So, 12 overs gone. Netherlands 89 for 4. Jarvin Muniandi to bowl the final over of this innings. 13 overs aside, we've been reduced to due to a constant light drizzle in Kathmandu. Tony Stahl on strike. Slower ball outside, the off stump, and Stahl can only get that away for a single, but at least for the Netherlands, Ben Cooper will be on strike, 5 runs shy of back-to-back T20 I-50s.
Yeah, nicely bowled that by Muniandi. Yeah, the Malaysia team has really pulled things back in the last 7 balls. Just gone for 7 runs. This last 5 balls need to go big for the Dutch team.
There's one thing that Ben Cooper loves doing, and that's smashing the ball straight down the ground. I'd love to see a wagon wheel of his boundaries this week, because it feels like almost everything has been mid-off, mid-on, or somewhere in that direction. That's a Pulsar Power 4.
Very rightly put up there, Andrew. Most of his runs, probably 80-90% of his runs has come straight.
And for the first time, we see long on and long off come a little closer together. The penny starting to drop for Malaysia. Important late runsies for the Netherlands. A bowl this time, but it beats the men up in the field in the offside. That's going to be 50 for Ben Cooper. Coming from just 31 deliveries, a really impressive knock from him. Back-to-back 50s for the highest ranked, or second highest ranked Netherlands batsman. And he's been one of the stars of the show for the men in orange.
Absolutely. Again, a very good knock. Played well yesterday and today as well. Yeah. Showing why he's the leading run scorer for the Dutch team till now.
Yeah, no Max O'Dowd, remember, of course, today he was either rested or left out after that sparkling 133, that record-setting 133, highest ever in Dutch colours. 3 deliveries remain now. No real timing. He's going to push hard for 2. And he won't get back because good fielding from the deep. Just have our Duckworth Lewis Stern calculators here saying that the Netherlands only likely to get a 10 to 15 run boost, I suppose, because they're getting the advantage of coming back out for these 16 deliveries, not getting as extravagant a boost as they might well have thought. So Malaysia staring down a total of about 115, maybe 120 at most from 13 overs. They'll really fancy that. Hit into the sky, could be an opportunity in the deep. 2 men converging. And it's dropped, put down. Virendeep Singh should have held on. He made good ground across to his right, going to his weaker side, but he's dropped the catch.
Yeah, went a long way up in the air, that one. Yeah, ball wide of the crease. Stahl really going hard for it around the cover, deep cover region. I think it was Virendeep reached there but couldn't just hold on to it.
Yeah, should have taken the catch. We saw no drops yesterday. That's a poor one. And that's a glorious shot. He punishes the drop catch with a Shivam strength 6 straight down the ground. The late boost that the Netherlands needed. He gets a pat in the back from Ben Cooper. Tony Stahl, we've talked about his power hitting. He shows it off there with a glorious straight 6.
Yeah, what a way to end the innings. The momentum going towards the Netherlands team in this last over. Yeah, Netherlands would be probably happy with that total, ending those last two overs. Last over especially going for quite good runs.
Yeah, 18 runs coming off the final over, the most expensive of the innings. And how the Netherlands needed that. Because with this rain-shortened match of just 13 overs aside, Malaysia are right in it. We'll come back with the full Duckworth-Lewis-Stern total. I suspect that Malaysia are probably going to need in the region of about 120 to win. Ben Cooper's 54 not out, the highest score. Peter Seeler, the Dutch captain, 37 off 31, and that late six from Tony Staal, just giving the Netherlands some momentum into the break. But it's going to be in Malaysia's hands. They'll need something in and around 120 from 13 overs. The majority of this Dutch innings based on that 66-run partnership from Seeler and Cooper, but that was predominantly before the rain break. So Duckworth-Lewis-Stern will go away and do its thing. And we're going to come back to you with all the action from the second innings. I think we're in for a thrilling chase. Malaysia are probably going to need around 120 in 13 overs to keep this tournament and the group stages alive. Okay. So wonderful. So the entire series is on the line here in Game 5 of the Bajaj Pulsar Tri-Nations Series strength partner Shivam Cement. It all comes down to the next 60 minutes or so. We've got a rain-abridged 13 overs aside game between Malaysia and the Netherlands. And there's the Netherlands going through their final warm-ups. Assistant coach James Hildreth's on your screen there. It's not Max O'Dowd, in case you're watching on at home thinking the long hair. Andrew Leonard here bringing you all these pictures as the Malaysian openers warm up. I've got Matt Floyd again in the commentary box with me, and who would have thought, Matt, yesterday, after the Netherlands' stunning win and stunning chase, that they'd be staring down the barrel of having to make sure that they can defend what's going to be a Duckworth-Lewis-Stern adjusted total against Malaysia to ensure their fate stays in their own hands.
And that's the beauty of having a short tournament like this with just 3 sides, is that one result can change everything. Even though Malaysia lost their first 2 games, they can still qualify. It's a tall order, of course. They're going to have to win this game and then also beat Nepal. And one of those victories is going to have to be convincing. Although the Netherlands, their net run rate is much more approachable for Malaysia. Nepal's net run rate is far superior to the other 2 sides, so they should be safe. But you never know. The first job for Malaysia will be to win this game, and they're fired up. We've seen them, haven't we, get here every morning and sing the national anthem and, you know, really, really have approached this seriously. And we see a stern talking to there from the head coach as we look at the table.
And remember, Matt, this would be the biggest win, arguably, in their short international T20 international history. Ranked significantly below the Netherlands in 31st in the world. And as you say, there's the points table. All the calculators are out. The paper has been scrambling. Certain people have been misunderstanding net run rate as well, Matt. Isn't that right?
Well, it maybe slightly, but my point remains that
you're eating the hat.
Nepal
you could eat a
are
hat.
Safe. There is no way you can tell me that both Malaysia and Netherlands will finish with a better net run rate than Nepal.
Well, I'm afraid you're factually incorrect, Matt. I hate to correct you on air. Wouldn't do that to you.
Factually incorrect, but in reality, I'm right. Because Malaysia would have to win this game and then absolutely smash Nepal.
Stranger things have happened in cricket. We wouldn't know.
They haven't.
As Sharon Basakar said to us, you're right. I think Malaysia would need to, it doesn't really matter the margin they beat the Netherlands by for this scenario we're working through. They then need to beat Nepal by about 140 runs or with about 15 overs to spare. So highly unlikely, but all results still possible. The final could dictate. So don't despair at home, Nepal fans. Hopefully we won't see Matt Floyd eating Wendell LeBroy's beautiful Panama hat live on air, which Wendell won't be too happy with, the ICC match referee. Right now, Malaysia have a tall task. They have to win today, they have to win tomorrow. But if they do win today, the Netherlands will genuinely be in trouble, because the net run rate gap between those 2 sides will become much tighter, and really any kind of decent win, maybe a 20-run win over Nepal tomorrow, would be enough to get them into the final. So concerned faces for the Netherlands, and plenty of drama over the next hour and tomorrow.
And I'll give you 2 reasons to be concerned if you're a Dutch fan here. Number 1, the Dutch bowling has not been anywhere near its best so far. Peter Saylor, the captain, has an economy rate of 6.4. No one else has an economy rate of under 9. So that is a concern. The other slight concern is the aggression of Malaysia, because they've come out in both games so far. Admittedly, they got hammered by Nepal, bowled out for 109, but they are ultra aggressive. They like to come out and tee off. Even if they lose early wickets, they've got aggressive guys down the order like Sharvin Muniandi, Shafiq Sharif, Animuddin Ramli, who they can push up the order if they need quick runs. There's going to be a lot of pressure on people like Paul van Meekeren, who is the most senior bowler in this Dutch attack. He hasn't taken a wicket yet in 2 games, not been at his best. They're going to need him to strike early and perform today.
I'll give you one final concern, a trio of concerns for the Dutch. Remember, Peter Seeler is very unlikely to bowl. We've heard that word from inside the Dutch camp. Struggling with a lower back problem after 4 games back in such quick succession. Did the business with the bat, but he's unlikely to bowl. And we're just hearing the word from the match officials. Wendell LeBroy even was dashing around there to confirm 120 to win for Malaysia 1-2-0 they will need in 13 overs. So a little bit less than 10 and over required. They'll have 4 overs of power play, I believe, to work with as well, not the usual 6. But they'll be looking to get off to a flyer with their 2 southpaws opening the batting. So it's Anwar Arudin alongside Syed Aziz, who's on strike. And he's going to start by crashing that one away for a Pulsar Power 4. What a shot that is. Short. In fact, it's going to fly all the way for 6. Extraordinary strike. I thought that was one bounce for a Pulsar Power 4, but that's a Shivam Strength 6.
Oh, what a start that was by Syed Aziz. Up and over. Admittedly, it was there to be hit, but that is a brilliant strike from the opening batsman to get that all the way for a Shivam Strength 6. Alarm bells ringing even straight away for the Netherlands.
Beautifully bowled, back to a length. Much better from Van Meeker in the first one. Too short and too wide. A free hit really for Aziz. But yeah, the shorter the format, perhaps the more the lower ranked sides can come into it. Malaysia looking to spring a massive upset.
Yeah, they'll have to go at over 10 runs and over to get there. I agree. I think it will be their greatest T20 win, even greater than the victory against Nepal, if they can pull this off somehow.
Very clever bowling. And look at how much that's moved off the pitch. The off-cutter from Van Meekeren. Jagging sharply. No stroke played by Aziz through for a dot ball.
Inside Aziz could be a key man here. He looks a really good timer of the ball. He looked dangerous in the game against Nepal. He made 27, but started aggressively like this. Hit the ball very hard. He is their most experienced batsman with 6 T20 international 50s.
Beats him again outside the off stump, and you can see Van Meekeren immediately going, I'm not going to be bowling too many full pace deliveries. Cutters into the pitch, rolling his fingers over the ball again there.
Vastly experienced is Paul Van Meekeren. Must say I did expect him to come here and lead the attack. Hasn't quite done that yet, but he's got a lot of quality with all that experience in county cricket with Somerset. Played a lot of games.
Full pace delivery through this time. And again, Aziz can't lay a bat in it. So just one delivery remains in the first over. And Matt, just one more point. You've got to remember, this Dutch side won live on Sky Sports, on Star Sports, right the way around the world, won the ICC T20 World Cup qualifier. It was their last internationals before coming here. Malaysia couldn't even get to that tournament. They were 5th of 5 in the regional qualifier in the Asia region. So that's the gulf between these sides. The leading associate you're seeing here in the Netherlands, and Malaysia have them troubled.
White ball.
It's going to be wide outside the off stump, that one.
Shame really from Paul Van Meekeren's point of view. You could see what he was trying to do there, just didn't quite execute his skill. He'd bowled 4 dot balls leading up to that point. It had been a really good comeback. Really mixed up his varieties well. You can close out here. It will be a good start for the Netherlands. Just 7 off the first over.
Smashed into the offside powerfully. That's a superb shot. It was a half volley again, the slower ball, but well picked up by Syed Aziz. 11 runs coming from the first over. Right on track for Malaysia. It's 11 for none. It's a reduced 13 overs a side match here at the TU International Cricket Ground in Kathmandu. The Bajaj Pulsar Tri-Nations T20 Series strength partner Shivam Cement is still wide open. Malaysia must win today to keep their hopes alive of reaching the final. Vivian Kingma is going to be opening the bowling. Immediately looks for the block hole and he's smashed. What a shot that is. Races away across the outfield. He looked for the block hole to start with. The first delivery that Arudin's faced has flown for a Pulsar Power 4.
Well, whatever Syed Aziz can do, Anwar Arudin can do even better. That absolutely raced away to the cover point boundary. Wasn't too far away from the man sweeping out there, but he had absolutely no chance. Great power from Arudin.
Straight to mid-off. That's young Vikramjit Singh who does the fielding for a dot ball. Remember, this required run rate is under 10 and over to start, so if Malaysia can find 1 or 2 boundaries every over, they're going to be keeping themselves right where they need to be, and they look to be targeting this power play, Matt.
They'll have to, I think, 4 overs, perhaps even more important in a shortened game like this. Really key moments, these.
Short ball, misfortune for Vivian Kingma, but delight for Malaysia. Great claps from their bench. That's a Shivam strengthened 6, Matt. Not in any way where he intended it to go. Thuds into the side screen, straight over the keeper's head.
The ball travels far here at altitude. That absolutely flew to the boundary, didn't it? 6 comfortably. Vivian Kingma's got good pace too, which unfortunately can count against him sometimes. So what does he do now? This is effectively death bowling, isn't it? Right from the off. He favours generally the wide Yorker. Will he go there this time?
Goes into the pitch and so nearly drags it on this time. He does have good pace, Vivian Kingma. He's shown us real flashes of gold and his potential as a fast bowler. He's also proven expensive at points, and that's what happens when you put pace on the ball in T20s. Can go the distance. Going to come around the wicket now, Kingma. He just took some up. Good use of the angle from Kingma, but good batting as well. They'll get through for a single.
I must say I was unsure whether Anwar Arudin would actually open the batting. His strike rate is not as good as some of the others around him, and he's not got any runs in the previous 2 games. But you can see he clearly has a lot of power. In fact, his strike rate under 100 coming into this tournament, just 94. Syed Aziz, on the other hand, has a very good strike rate, over 130. He could be the key man here, I feel.
Powered into the offside, and the timing from Syed Aziz mean it beats the man in the deep on the offside. Another Pulsar Power 4. Malaysia starting to believe. End of the second over. It's 26 for none.
Well, he absolutely laced that one just behind square on the offside. That was as hard as we've seen any ball hit during this tournament. What a great start. 22 without loss off 2 overs, going at 11 and over. Required rate now. Really dropping. They're well ahead of the game.
An immediate change of bowling as the 2 tall Dutch quick bowlers have been going around the park. We're going to see Arjan Dutz off spin. Thought he might actually open the bowling with the 2 left-handers on strike, but Peter Seeler, remember, may not bowl today. The youngster into the attack, 3 wickets in just his 4th T20I of his young career. Bowls it into the pitch straight away.
And the Malaysian top order really went after Arjan Dutt the previous time these 2 met. His first 2 balls, in fact, went for 12 runs, if you include a free hit, and then he came back exceptionally strongly. Finished with a couple of wickets for 15 from his 2 overs.
Nicely bowled and a little bit of turn and offer.
And what an introduction for him into T20 internationals with the ball. He's been given the new ball on 2 occasions. Now he's having to bowl a crucial over or 2 in a 13-over run chase. Straight in at the deep end for a 17-year-old.
Skews off the outside edge, and it seems like everywhere Malaysia are hitting the ball at the moment. There's no Dutch fielders. Fortune again for them. Another Pulsar Para 4. Malaysia off to an absolute flyer.
Aaron Dutt bowled that like a seamer almost. It was a lot of pace on that delivery, so any edge was just going to fly. You're not going to have a slip in for a 13-over run chase. So yeah, you're right. Everything going Malaysia's way at the moment.
Just tucks him up this time. It'll just be a single. No, it won't, because it's a shocking misfield at fine leg. He might have done himself a nuisance as well. It's going to cost him at least 2 runs. They'll get back for 3. Julian DeMay having to make up for Vivian Kingma, who I hope hasn't injured himself. He's just slipped on the wet outfield there.
He's hobbling. He's had a history of injury as well, hasn't he? His ankle. I hope that's not the ankle that was operated on.
Yeah, not nice to see that. Clearly slightly slippery underfoot conditions with the rain we've had. Ball by Aryan Dutt, just using the angle in.
Just firing these in at the moment. Aryan Dutt giving the batsman no chance whatsoever to get down the track. I think he's learned his lesson from the first couple of games where he tossed a couple up and they generally disappeared for 6.
Beautifully bowled, but nicely played into the offside. It's going to be the end of the 3rd over. Malaysia going at 12 and over. It's 36 for none. It's the state of play. Advantage Malaysia at the moment. 36 for none in this abridged 13-over-a-side game. 4 overs of power play we have. So the final over the power play is going to be bowled by the man on your screen there. That's Baz Dalida, yesterday's hero. 81, a remarkable knock out for a duck today. Can he do it with the ball in hand? Starts with a slower ball that barely even reaches the batsman through to the replacement keeper today, Tobias Visay.
Looked a bit like a football goalkeeper there, Visay. Just got down sharply to his right, parried the ball, and then picked it up. Required rate now is just over 8. It was 84 off 10 at the start of the over. Baz Dalida, actually the joint leading wicket taker with 3 wickets for the Netherlands in this series.
Smashed into the sky, and there's no one in the deep on the offside apart from 3rd man. It's going to go all the way onto the grass banks for a Shivam strengthened 6. What a strike that is. Malaysia, Syed Aziz leading the way for them.
Well, had we had spectators in, that would have been a crowd catch. Loads of fans normally on that bank. Tough shot to play that, over cover. He's a real natural timer of the ball, Syed Aziz. You can see why he's got the best record of anyone in this Malaysian batting lineup. Just gave himself some room there. You cannot allow him to free his hands because he's got real power.
You have to back the way they're going about things here, Matt, because they've recognised that if they can capitalise on this 4 overs of power play, get themselves into a really strong position, go hell for leather right from the ball from the first ball of this innings, they're going to be in with a big chance of pulling off this shock upset. Slower ball into the pitch this time from Dalida, just going to be a single.
Well, you could argue that even now they are favourites to win this game from here after this spectacular start. Still got to get the runs, of course, but once the field goes out, there should be more space for them. They can knock it around a little bit more. around about 8 runs and over from here on in, generally not considered to be really tough. And they've got 10 wickets in hand, so
That's
they
the
can
critical
keep going.
thing. Yeah, that is the critical thing, Matt. 10 wickets in hand, the advantage you get from knowing what you need to chase. And DLS comes in. It's huge. Really well ball by Deleda. The Netherlands only getting sort of a 12, 13 run boost from Duckworth Lewis Stern, despite losing 7 overs of their batting.
And that's why teams in these conditions win the toss and bowl, because generally it does favour the chasing side. It's as fair as it can be, Duckworth Lewis Stern, but you don't see captains winning the toss and batting first when there's weather around, because you would rather be in this position of chasing.
Beautifully bowled again, into the pitch, not giving anything into the hitting arc. Good change-ups, good learnings from Baz Deleda.
I think changes of pace really could be the way to go for these seamers. We're playing on the pitch that was used in the first game between the Netherlands and Nepal. It's generally not quite as good for batting as the pitch we saw yesterday, just a little bit tackier. When you do take pace off, it can bite.
He's done exactly that again, and it's nearly scooped straight to mid-off. Just one bounce short. Ben Cooper to close out the power play on the 4th over. Really good comeback from Deleda. Malaysia, 43 for none.
Baz Deleda with the best overs so far as the Netherlands are concerned. It just went for 7. And now we are through the power play. That's what that sign says. So only 4 men need to be in the circle now. Andrew Leonard is taking a break. Sharad Vasorka will join me for the next 5 overs as our induct continues. Keeps on darting it into the left-handers and trying to cramp them up. We've got a really exciting run chase on our hands, Sharad.
Absolutely, it's been a very good start till now from Malaysia. These 2 left-handers really going hard at the Netherlands bowling attack. Yeah, with the 2 left-handers in, that would be looking to bowl as many overs as he can and probably getting one of those wickets too.
So just 1 man in the ring on the leg side. That was Vivian Kingma. That delivery went straight to him. We've got 3 men out on the boundary, long on, deep mid-wicket, and a man behind square on the leg side. And on the offside, you've got 3 men in the ring, 2 behind square, long off, and a deep cover. Good running there. Might have been tight had the throw from Tony Stahl hit the stumps. Sider sees doing his best to dive in there. I think he's called for a bit of help from his 12th man.
Malaysia needing 74 now from 51 balls with 10 wickets in hand.
Just see a bit of rain there, I think, Sharad, unfortunately. That was actually Vikram Singh with the throw. I hope he hasn't done himself a bit of an injury, but you can see there, he's slipping a little bit. Aziz, as Duck comes in, bowls a wide. That is damaging. Next ball up, a wide that's gone to the boundary. So 5 wides. Did not need that.
Yeah. Extra runs are always, there you go. The rain's getting harder.
Yeah, you can see it on your screen there, can't you? This is what it was like, unfortunately, when they brought the players off. Let's just hope it doesn't get any stronger. It wasn't too strong earlier on, but the umpires still felt it was strong enough to get the players off.
Yeah, the cover's getting ready.
All right, could be two here. I think they'll just settle for one. No, they almost came back for a second with the fumble there. 5 overs, of course, constitutes a game in T20 international cricket. So after 2 more balls, we will have a game if they can bowl them, because the ground staff very keen to get on. They are primed and ready. Malaysia will be desperate for these 2 balls to be bowled because they are ahead of the game at the moment. Should the game finish now, they only need to be on 39 to win the game. They're on 53. So Malaysia will win the game if this ball is bowled, and then they come off immediately for range. Should the Netherlands take a wicket, of course, then that changes things, and that score will come down.
Yeah, hopefully Malaysia won't like to lose a wicket from here. That would definitely
Cracked away. Well fielded. But could be an overthrow, and there is. So it was a good stop by Sailor, but they got the overthrow. So 5 done. We have a game. Malaysia 54 without loss.
Quick, make it quick. Just glove change, gloves only. Glove only.
The Malaysian openers, Syed Aziz and Anwar Arudin, have put them ahead of the game against the Netherlands. 26 for Aziz, 21 for Arudin. They are 53 without loss after 5 overs. So we now officially have a game. The Duckworth-Lewis par score at the moment is 39, so they're well ahead of that. If they lose a wicket, of course, then things will change slightly. But they're in a strong position, Sharad.
Yeah, surely, without losing any wickets. 50 up on the board. Van Meekeren again back into the attack for his 2nd over.
Pace off again. A single taken again. And the Netherlands need wickets, because if the rain comes at any point here, unless they pick up 2 or 3 quickly, they are still going to be ahead of the rate, Malaysia.
Yeah, surely. Been playing well, these 2 openers. Some of the shots they have been hitting, making room for themselves, was so pleasing to the eye.
No run. Big loud call there. Van Meekeren coming around the wicket, taking the pace off. Looks like that's going to be his main tactic here. He might mix it up with the odd full pace delivery.
Yeah, surely the reason being that for that ball is probably with the moisture in the pitch, the rain around, a bit of drizzle that has gone into the pitch, the ball might stick a little bit into the wicket.
You can barely see the mountains just on the side of the ground at the moment. It's so misty. Nice pace off again. Bowls that off cutter well. This one was fuller.
I haven't seen one of those balls gone to the boundary. The change of paces have been very difficult to time. Yeah, these openers not finding it easy. Those off cutters have been sticking into the wicket a bit. Max O'Dowd there rested today.
Again, same again. This is really working for Van Meekeren. Really good over so far from him. Just the one off the first 4 balls. I think they've cottoned on now, haven't they? That's the way to go. Any pace, batsman can just use it. Short boundaries here.
Yeah, Meekeren bowling that very well. This over has been really good for the dot side.
And again, this time Aziz makes contact, finds the man out on the boundary, sweeping on the offside, but the Dutch won't mind singles at this stage. It's the boundaries they need to block up.
Because not giving any pace to work with it. Batsmen are finding it really difficult unless they look for some different options. Maybe scooping it or with the third man and fine leg up.
Well, third man's back, isn't he? But fine leg is. They're just changing now, so switching that. Third man comes up, fine leg goes back.
Probably looking to ball it up to the batsman, this ball. Oh, it goes short again.
Ooh. Tell you what, good take from Visay as well, because that reared up at him. Great over that from Van Meekeren, just 2 from it. 56 without loss. It's the news you probably weren't keen to hear, I'm afraid, because the ground staff are rushing on. The umpires have sent the players off because the rain has just got a bit heavier here in Kirtipur. It's not bad news for Malaysia, though, because 56 without loss after 6 overs. They are ahead of the game. So if the game ends now, Malaysia will pull off a famous victory. The Duckworth-Lewis-Stern par score is 48. They're 8 ahead of that at the moment. So I'm sure they'll be very happy for this to carry on and get even heavier, this rain. They won't mind too much that it's a shortened game. They just want to be able to say that they've beaten the Netherlands. What a start it's been by them, Sharad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gone the way they wanted, the Malaysian team. Yeah, it would be interesting to see where things will be after this game. The Malaysian team looking good at this stage.
And they're quite a long way ahead, really, as well. 8 runs in a shortened game is quite significant. If they lost a wicket or two, they would still just about be ahead, you would think. It's that convincing, the position that they're in. And all credit to Syed Aziz and Anwar Aruddin. They came out through caution to the wind immediately from the very first ball. That really set the tone, didn't it? That fantastic uppercut over point for 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting 11 runs from the first over, then again continuing the same the next overs. Some beautiful shots over cover, point region. And they are 56 for no loss without losing a wicket. The umpire is still hanging around, hoping it's just a passing shower.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, because the previous shower just came through and it's not particularly heavy. So with any luck, we'll get the same again. This is what is going on at the moment then. Syed Aziz, 27 off 20. Anwar Aruddin, 23 off 15. They are 56 without loss of just 6 overs, Malaysia. 8 ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern par score. So they are sitting pretty. I repeat, if the game is called off now and the rain gets heavier, Malaysia will pull off a famous victory, and it will throw the cat amongst the pigeons as far as this Tri-Nation series is concerned, because all 3 sides still yet to officially qualify, and the Netherlands in particular will be under threat because the net run rate of Malaysia will improve. Bas de Leede have been the best bowler so far. Paul van Meekeren bowled well in that second over, but Vivian Kingma, Aryan Dutt, both expensive. This is the table at the moment, Sharad, and as I was saying there, if Malaysia pull off this win, they'll get 2 points. Their net run rate will improve. The Netherlands will improve slightly as well, perhaps, depending on the calculations. But the point is Malaysia will be getting closer to the Netherlands, and then if they beat Nepal as well, their net run rate will once again improve. So the Netherlands will be slightly worried at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. If this game doesn't go on, there would be nothing that Netherlands can do much, just hoping, and they'll be watching the Malaysia-Nepal game closely. Nepal sitting well comfortably on the top there with the net run rate. Yeah, Malaysian team. The covers are being pulled on to the ground at the moment.
Yeah, that's the full covers that they're just waiting to bring on. So what we'll do is we'll take a short break, and we'll get back to you as soon as we get any better news for you. We'll keep our fingers crossed, because the previous shower did pass through. With any luck, the same will happen again here. You'll hear from us in due course. Welcome back to the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground for the Bajaj Pulsar Tri-Series with the strength partner Shivam Cement. And what a fascinatingly poised game we have for you. The good news is the rain has abated and we will resume the run chase for Malaysia, who are on the verge of a famous victory over the Netherlands. They had a target of 120 in 13 overs, but we've just had a second rain interruption of this match, the first of this innings, and we will be losing, we think, a couple of overs of the chase. We'll let you know what the new target is as soon as it comes to us. We're thinking it's going to be 92 off 10 overs. That is official now. 92 needed off 10, and they are 56 off 6. So in 4 overs, they've got to score 36.
Yeah, that doesn't look a big ask for Team Malaysia with 10 wickets in hand. New bowler coming in. Sebastian Braat onto the attack. Keepers up. So the openers ready to get on with the things. Yeah, they would like to finish this as early as possible, the Malaysian team, and get that run rate as up as possible, close to the Netherlands team.
Matt Floyd and Sharad Vasaka with you. And don't go anywhere, because this is going to be a fascinating last 4 overs. Swing and a miss from Syed Aziz. He's been excellent, 27 off 21. Anwar Aruddin, 23 off 16. But they've got to hold their nerve now in the face of an experienced Dutch side. Sebastian Braat didn't have a very good first outing. He went for 50 in his 4 overs, picked up a couple of wickets. He's under pressure immediately. Slower ball. Oh, that almost bowled Aziz. It looks like pace off is going to be the way to go, Sharad.
Absolutely. With the keeper up and the finally third man up, that would be the choice of delivery every ball by Braat. And it seems to be working in this wicket as well with the moisture in the pitch around. Maybe a little bit too paced, variable bounce.
Another slower delivery pulled away by Aziz. They might think about 2 here. Fumbled again in the outfield. Ben Cooper this time. Seen a couple of fumbles from the Dutch side in these 6.3 overs. They didn't push very hard. Maybe could have pushed a bit harder there and taken 2.
Yeah, there was definitely 2 runs. It went between the mid-wicket and long-on fielder, but yeah, the 2 batsmen just settling for a run.
That's a leg. Take it off, take it off. You can change it right now.
Yeah, first 3 deliveries just gone for a run. Malaysia would be looking to go hard in this last 3 deliveries for sure. The batsman not happy with the gloves probably, Syed Aziz. Something wrong maybe, got the wrong gloves on.
Well, he's had the last few minutes to get his gloves sorted. Got a fresh pair coming on now. 35 to win off the next 21 deliveries. It's been a decent start by Sebastian Braat, just 1 off 3 balls. Oh, he's bowled him. More pace off from Braat. Big celebration as well. Really smart bowling from him. Big swing from Anwar Aruddin. And finally, the Netherlands are on the board.
Yeah, Braat showing it like his ball that a leg cutter, slow leg cutter that went with the arm. A bit of movement there, leaving the bat, but Anwar trying to slog it over mid-wicket. Not a good option when the ball is not bouncing much. Anwar gone for 23 of 17 balls. Malaysia 57 for 1.
The Netherlands have come out with real purpose after the rain delay. They now have to face the man who almost hit Malaysia to victory in the first game between these two sides, Virandeep Singh, who made 87 from 53 balls the last time.
Vikesh.
Again, Bharat, that pace off, just angling in.
Yes, would be interesting to see. Only 3.2 overs to go. The choice of bowlers the dot side would be using. Probably only 2 overs each by the bowlers now. Be interesting to see.
Well, this has been a massive over so far by Sebastian Bharat. Great comeback from him after his performance in the last game. Just 2. Can he close it out? Well, that's hit powerfully by Syed Aziz, but I think he is only going to pick up 2. They're coming back, and he's got there comfortably. So still a good over by Bharat. Just 4 from it, plus the wicket. We have 3 overs left in this game. 32 needed. Malaysia are 60 for 1 as they attempt to chase down 92 in 10 overs. They need 32 off the final 3. Bashundhara back into the attack. Goes short. Virandeep pulls and pulls well. Beats the man on the leg side boundary. He's away straight away, the man who almost took them to victory the last time these two sides met. And Andrew Leonard is with me in the commentary box.
What a shot from Virandeep Singh. Again, pace off. That's where the Dutch quick bowlers decide their best options lay, but well read by Virandeep Singh. Just his second delivery. T20's usually action aplenty, but we're down to just 10 overs in this chase. Another thriller in store.
Pace off again. Pulled straighter this time by Virandeep. He'll pick up 1 this time. But we haven't seen a full pace delivery yet from the Dutch bowlers. That's going to be the tactic. I think they might just have to mix it up a little bit more, get some full pace in there occasionally. But I think they got spooked by the way that the 2 Malaysian openers really went after the paceman in the first 4 overs of this run chase.
Yeah, but how good was Sebastian Bharat in that over? He's given Netherlands a chance. They've been behind the 8 ball the entire game. Just 4 runs and the wicket in the previous over.
And again, the off-cutter. This time he gets it wrong. It's going to be a wide. Bashundhara suggesting that Syed Aziz moved out of the way of the ball and it would have hit him. I'm not too sure that's right.
Yeah, interesting point. Heard from Tim Deleta last night, Baz's father. And he just had one message to get across to me and you, Matt. Loving the commentary. Baz never played hockey, though. The silly wrists have sneaked into his game. They've snuck into his game and they helped get Netherlands over the line yesterday. Ball in hand this time, Deleta.
Oh, that's well bowled, that one. Good length, that off-cutter. Hard to hit that. He's going to need his wrist for his bowling now, isn't he? Not for his batting.
I enjoyed the fake grunt as well. You know, pretending it was the effort ball, but barely any pace to work with whatsoever. And it seems as though Aziz's brain has been scrambled by the break. The rain delays have ruined any rhythm and timing that he had early in the innings. 26 to win now off just 15 deliveries. Bubbling up beautifully.
Oh, that's up and over from Aziz. Has he picked out the man on the boundary? He has. Simple catch there, taken by Julian de May. And the pace-off once again has worked here for the Dutch bowlers. That was short, that delivery, but there was no pace at all for Syed Aziz to work with, and he couldn't quite clear the man. Another crucial wicket.
Might not have looked like a good delivery, but a brilliant piece of bowling. I think it was actually maybe the leg cutter or possibly even out of the back of the hand. Aziz just could find no timing after the break in play. The second break in play. Good catch from Julian DeMay. Are Malaysia ruining this chase? Are they stuffing it up? Aziz has gone for 30. It's 66 for 2.
Bashundhara to continue then. 2 balls left in the over. Another slower ball. Oh, this one's pierced the gap though. That's going to be a crucial boundary for Virendeep Singh and for Malaysia. A Pulsar Power 4. But that wasn't really about power. It was all about placement.
And it beats the despairing dive of Aryan Dutt to third man. Again, an off-pace delivery. Aryan Dutt made good ground to his right, but it just looped over his right hand. And look at the despair of the Dutch bench there. Malaysia coming back into it.
Oh, that's gone wrong, hasn't it? I think it was again a knuckleball of sorts, and it just wasn't directed correctly. So the last couple of balls have gone, or last ball have gone for 5 because of that wide. 8 wides in this shortened innings. That will not please Ryan Campbell at all. Bashundhara's just got to try and close this over out now. He's bowled 2 wides in the over. There's been 2 boundaries too, plus the wicket. Just the 1 dot. Pace off, nicked, and it's nicked for 4. Oh, Virendeep Singh having a bit of luck. But he certainly earned it, perhaps, after the way he played in that first game. So 2 overs to go. The Netherlands need just 17. Sorry, Malaysia need just 17. And that's an important boundary. $17 needed off 2 overs for Malaysia to pull off what would arguably be their greatest ever win in T20 international cricket. It's going to be Sebastian Braat to bowl his second over. His first went for just 4, and he picked up a wicket. Holland needs something similar in this over. Big swing from Amiruddin Ramli, who's the new batsman. He's been put in up the order. He goes for it, strike rate of 140, and more pace off from Sebastian Braat.
Outstanding from Sebastian Braat. He's giving the Netherlands a chance, just a chance. He was so expensive in his first and only appearance in the series so far, but he's known back home in the Netherlands as having nerves of steel. And he's showing that here. Keeper up to the stumps. Tobias Fasay in for Scott Edwards today. Every single delivery, it seems, is pace off at the moment.
This one pace off again, but dug in a bit shorter. Again, just a single. So that's pretty good for the Netherlands. 16 needed now off 10 deliveries. This is going to go right down to the wire, you feel.
Yeah, but critically, Virendeep Singh back on strike. He's been the only Malaysian batsman all week, really, who's shown a consistent ability to score up more than run a ball. He's going to need to find 1, if not 2 boundaries in this penultimate over of the chase.
Moves across his stumps. Goes straight as he picked out the man at long on. That could be an excellent catch. Did he get his hands underneath it, Paul van Meekeren? He says yes. We've got a good view of it from where we were sitting. And that is going to be out, we think. Virendeep just pausing. But I think Paul van Meekeren has pulled off a fantastic catch there and possibly a match-turning one.
Going to be very tight. Van Meekeren's immediate instinct, you often know as a fielder, don't you, whether it's carried or not, is that he got his fingers underneath the ball. And the umpire is just saying, I think the soft signal is certainly going to be out, but look at it tailing in the slower ball. Really good camera work, and it looks to me like that's just about carried to Paul Van Meekeren, who clings on and takes a good catch. His heart would have been in his mouth for a moment, but Virendeep Singh is gone for 14 from just 6 deliveries. Malaysia 76 for 3.
Shafiq Sharif, the new bat. And straight away he tries to go long, and he has. I think that might have hit the rope and gone for 6. It has. A Shivam strength 6, and what a time for it. First ball, Shafiq Sharif.
I think that one's actually Ramley on strike. The batsman, of course, crossing. So Ramley has smashed that one down the ground. Brat's gone a slower ball every single delivery. He's got underneath it, and it's carried just to the left. And it's actually thudded into the advertising hoarding, so correctly signalled as 6. The game swings again. 10 to win off 8 deliveries now.
And that's going to be a wide. Not a good time for that.
Brilliant glove work by Tobias Visay, though. Sebastian Brat is not happy with the wide signal, but correctly signalled wide, strain down the leg side. 9 extras, 9 wides. That's going to end up arguably proving the difference between these two sides. Still 8 deliveries remain.
This one, perhaps a better length. I think that slow delivery works well when it's around about that particular length. Just back of a good length. Hard to get that away.
Just dies in the pitch at that point, Matt, doesn't it? Back of a length. Constantly rolling his fingers across with the leg cutters. For the Netherlands, you'd have to feel this needs to be a wicket or a dot to give them any chance. Most likely going to be Vivian Kingma, you'd suspect, to bowl the final over of the match. Remember, Peter Seelar, unable to bowl today, suffering from a lower back problem. 4 games in 5 days, having not played an international match for a year and a half.
Crucial ball, this. Final ball of the penultimate over. Sharif going well across his stumps there. It's only going to be 1. So, 85 for 3 are Malaysia. 7 to win off the final over. The 31st ranked side in T20 international cricket, Malaysia, are on the verge of shocking the 17th ranked side, the Netherlands, in game 5 of this tri-series. They need 7 off the final over, bowled by Vivian Kingma. Pressure on the Dutch fast man now. What's his plan going to be? Starts with a wide, put off there by Shafiq Sharif, moving across his stumps. It's now just 6.
Yeah, Vivian Kingma looking to come around the wicket and hit the wide Yorkers, but 2 wide as indicated by Sanjay Gurung. 10 wides now in a chase of just 92. That's too much from the Netherlands bowlers. Huge pressure on Kingma. Can he pull a miracle off for the Dutchman? 6 to win off 6.
Sharif again going well across. Just manages to find the man at the deep square boundary on the offside. It's interesting, these tactics. clearly going to be just hanging the ball outside off stump. There's no one on the boundary on the leg side behind square. The two men on the leg side on the boundary are straight. The long on and a straight mid-wicket. Whereas on the offside, that's well protected behind square.
But a change in action, Matt. He's going to come over the wicket to Ramley. Fans of associate cricket, you know we do nothing but drama in the associate world. 5 to win off 5.
Staying around the wicket. Almost a chance of a comedy run out there with Sharif trying to steal a run. But Kingma, I understand what he's doing here. I understand what the plan is, but he's just got to get it right. Can't afford to bowl any wides. That's 11 now in the innings, and they could be crucial.
My mistake, man. He looked like he changed his action and indicated he changed his action. 4 to win off 5 now.
And again, that one, though, is not going to be called a wide because Ramley had moved well across his stumps. I think that's fair enough. So that's pretty much exactly what Vivian Kingma is trying to do. 4 needed off 4 balls.
Good decision for my money as well. Absolutely right. The batsman Ramley had gone significantly outside his off stump. You get the benefit of doubt. That red line is only a guideline. 4 to win off 4. More drama in Kathmandu.
Ramley toe ends it. It'll just be 1. It's going to be 3 off 3. They're just 1 hit away, Malaysia, from a famous win.
This is going to the final delivery, Matt, isn't it? It's written in the stars. It's going all the way. Remember, if we have a tied score despite the rain-shortened match, I believe we'll have a super over.
Wow, well, the light's certainly good enough for it. That would be some end to the day, wouldn't it? Vivian Kingma going to his captain, Peter Saylor. Right, are we going to stick to the plan? What's going on? Can we change it up? Does the field need changing? So many things to discuss at this point. And Peter Saylor is changing the field. Interesting this. So short fine leg goes back to the boundary. Long off comes up to mid off. So will he change where he's going to try and land this ball, Vivian Kingma, or is he going to still try and go for the wide Yorker from around the wicket? Sharif moves across. No timing, and he's only going to pick up 1 again. Vikram Singh round, delivers the ball back safely. 2 from 2.
2 from 2, and again, poor running between Malaysia in this final stage of the innings. There's several times they've got 7 wickets in hand. They should be pushing for 2. They're never pushing for 2 whenever the ball gets it into the outfield. So it's going to be 2 to win off 2. We're just checking whether or not there's going to be a super over.
Kingma's in. Oh, that's got to be out, surely. Massive wicket for the Netherlands. Vivian Kingma delivers with the perfect Yorker from around the wicket. And that means the Netherlands are back in this. 2 to win from 1 ball.
Sensational from the bespectacled Vivian Kingma. The perfect block hole Yorker delivered from around the wicket. Thuds into the pads of Ramley, who'd walked across his stumps. And that is absolutely as plumb as you'll get. It's hit him in front of middle stump. Really good decision from Sanjay Gurung. He's got it right. More late drama. We're going to have every result possible. We don't even know how many results are going to be possible when we come back from this. It's 90 for 4, 1 delivery left.
Malaysia need 2 off the final delivery to claim a famous upset win over the Netherlands. It's going to be Sharvin Muniandi, the new batsman, who will have the honour of trying to hit those winning runs. We don't think there's going to be a super over. But we never know. Right, here we go. Vivian Kingma. Oh, he's done it. He's done it for the Netherlands. A bye is run. The scores are tied. What a comeback by Vivian Kingma. They needed, what was it, just 6 off the final over. And Kingma has managed to defend that. The scores are level. We finish with the tie.
Unbelievable scenes here in Kathmandu and pure brilliance from Vivian Kingma. He's denied Malaysia the outright win. We are going to have to wait and see and wait and check. A little bit of confusion even here in Kathmandu with the umpires. You can see the umpires looking at each other. Do we go to a super over or not? My understanding of the playing conditions is all T20 eyes have super overs, but because of the DLS, we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait for official confirmation, but it's the Dutch that are celebrating because they think they've at the very least got themselves a tie, which will put them through to the final of this Tri-Nation series.
And if this is a tie, as we believe it will be at the moment, don't think there's going to be a super over now. Apologies for the confusion, but we were told initially there would be a super over. We're now hearing that there won't be. So the Dutch have that man on their screen there to thank for a valuable point because they were second favourites 6 balls ago, just 6 required, plenty of wickets in hand for Malaysia. He had a plan around the wicket, wide Yorkers to the right-handed batsman, and he stuck to that plan despite bowling a couple of wides, and he still managed to defend that score. Just shows you how well he bowled in the final 3 or 4 deliveries of that over. Important moment for him, you feel, an important moment for the Netherlands as well, to make sure that Malaysia can't pull off what would have been an incredible scalp for them.
Yeah, so close, but yet so far for Malaysia. They sensed their moment of history. Great respect between the two sides there. The Netherlands have really pulled that one out of the fire from absolutely nowhere. Look at how happy Vivian Kingma is.
What a final ball as well, Lenny. I mean, that was just exactly where you wanted him to land it. Around the wicket, the perfect Yorker outside the off stump. So hard for a batsman coming in to face his first ball in Sharvin Muniandi to get anything on that at all, let alone for a batsman who'd been at the crease for a while. It was just perfection in terms of the execution. Malaysia really will be kicking themselves. I think they'll feel that they should have won that from the position that they were in. The openers, Syed Aziz and Anwar Aradin, got them off to a great start. 57 in 6.5 overs they put on. Virendeep Singh continued their good work with 14 off just 6 balls, but they just fell away towards the end. The likes of Ramli and Sharif and Muniandi right at the end just couldn't get them over the line. They finished with 91 for 4 off their 10 overs in this Duckworth-Lewis affected game. Bit of a stop-start match which affected the flow a bit. But Malaysia agonisingly short. I think they'll feel that was an opportunity missed.
Yeah, and there's the Dutch bowling figures. The 2 heroes for me, Sebastian Bratt and Vivian Kingma. Sensational 2 overs bowled right at the death from Bratt. All those off-pace deliveries, those cutters, those slower balls, but it was Kingma that will be the toast of the Dutchman tonight. 1 for 21, including that plum LBW in the final over, and holding his nerve in the final delivery. We believe the match result is a tie.
Oh, it's all fun and games up here at the moment. Pretty sure it is a tie. You can see the Malaysian players having a bit of a stretch and a debrief out on the outfield. Don't forget Paul van Meekeren as well. If you look at that bowling card, his 2 overs went for just 13 runs. The senior man really delivering today. And he got hit for 6 off his very first ball too. Syed Aziz uppercutting him to the cover point boundary. But what a relief will be felt in the Netherlands camp. That was almost a shock defeat for them. But it'll be interesting to hear what both captains have to say at the presentation. And we'll get some reaction for you after this break.